It says yes. We are going
Thanks
live.
for listening to Better Credit, Better Home.
Astros,
Be sure to hit the like
baby.
button and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you're looking for a great mortgage professional, reach out to Mike at KingwoodMortgageGuys.com.
You got it.
Or if you're looking for a home inspector or awesome realtor, reach out to Joe Salas with Byrd Properties International.
Hello and welcome.
Hey, Mike.
Brother. So I was just sharing with Joe what an idiot I am. So for anybody, broadcast-wise, I'm going to say, but last week we did the show. It probably the best show we've ever done. No, it probably wasn't. I don't know.
Sell it up. Sell it, Mike. Sell it.
But anyway, I forgot to go live or something happened like that. So we apologize for those. I know that there are a lot of people that were calling in and going, what the heck? But anyway, a lot to cover today. First things first, how about those Astros, Joe? You an Astro follower?
Yeah, I mean, who isn't? You got to be living in town, and we're in the World Series. Too bad yesterday got rained out. I was ready to eat some candy in celebration, but we got a bucket full over here, so it's waiting on me today.
Good. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I was very disappointed that we didn't play last night, but I think we're going to make up for it tonight. So I think we're good to go. Feeling like they're going to bring that World Series championship back to Houston.
You know what? Let's say it was 4 times ago that we got together. They were trailing. You remember that? And you were wearing your Astros jersey, and we said "Go Stros." So I think we're bringing the luck today, Mike.
We had an impact. All right,
we're gonna go with that.
If we can do that, then I will. So there's interesting news. I got scouring all the headlines and stuff, and there's kind of an interesting summary to this. So don't let me forget. If I get off without giving my summary, I want you to stop me because I think it's important that I summarize this. But first thing, this is what we're going to cover today. The humor, I did some video humor, changed this up a little bit, and I'm not even going to say anything about the humor. I'll just let it go as it was. But we're going to talk about the zero down home grants. We're talking about a guy named Jesse Singh is a AZAC CEO. He says housing shortage across the U.S. And I thought that's interesting, but I get it. There is a housing shortage, but right now a lot of other stuff is going on. So we'll talk about that. Student loan debt. This is my credit part. Are student loans the kiss of death to buying a home? We'll talk about that. Homes are being marked down, says Redfin CEO. Have you seen anything like that?
Yeah, I actually read an article earlier today that was talking about that.
Yeah. And then pending home sales. So the key is pending. These are homes that are under contract. They're in the pending mode. They're getting ready to get their mortgage done and all that kind of stuff. The sales plunged 10% amid rising interest rates. So they're blaming the rates for that. So there's a whole article about that. And then rates, we're going to talk about rates and opportunity for brave home buyers. And I would say smart, brave home buyers because of the way this is playing out. So let's just get going. What do you think? You ready for this?
Let's see it, man.
Okay.
Love this humor.
Let's see if it's
Did I get it?
Oh, wait a minute. Got to go back. Come on. Oh, no. It was actually funny too. So
sure it was. I know it was.
I was knee slapping. It worked last time. Let's see. I'm gonna try one more time. I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on a second. And maybe that'd make a difference. It's just skipping right past it. Oh, dude, I am so sick about that. All right, never mind. Okay, my humor today is that I'm an idiot again.
I got one, Mike. We flew in from Colorado yesterday, and boy, my arms are tired.
That's pretty bad, dude. That's right in line with my humor, though. So, I am just sick. I'll show you that another time. Anyway, Uh, it was boyish humor, so maybe it's probably all the better that we'll save ourselves from, messing up. Okay, so we always talk about the Zero Down Home program. It is out there. Look at this beautiful home. Isn't that great? You qualify for that as a first-time home buyer. If you're a first-time home buyer or a school district employee, a medical worker, policeman, fireman, military, public servants, if you are work for a school but you're not a teacher, you still qualify. You can be a bus driver, you could work in the janitorial or the cafeteria. It doesn't matter because all you got to do is have a W-2 from a school district. Same thing would work in a medical field, policeman, fireman, all that kind of stuff. So if somebody needs to get zero down, they should do that now. And as we always say, we frame this by saying the rates on these zero down home loans are higher than they would be if you were putting money down. And that there is a penalty for that. That's actually where the money comes from, is the additional money that you pay in rate, or the higher rate that you pay supplies that money to the lender that provides that for you. So anyway, just so you know about that. And so housing shortage across U.S. So what this guy is interesting is he's kind of on the tune that there's a pent-up demand for housing in some areas of the United States. And what we see a little bit of diminishing of the number of people that are out there. And his indication is that when the rates go down, he's assuming that they are going to go down, that the demand is going to take us back up to that crazy frothing environment where you got 15 or 20 people waiting to make an offer on a house. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I mean, I didn't think it was a good thing, to be honest with you. I thought it was not consumer friendly. I don't think it was realtor friendly. The only thing it might have been is seller friendly, because the sellers, the pricing was going up like crazy. What do you think?
It was a challenging time. It was a exciting time, but challenging. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Without an experienced agent, it could have been detrimental to buyers. It was all pluses for sellers, because buyers were waiving inspections, buyers were out trying to outbid each other, and the sellers were just sitting back and laughing while they were collecting money.
So the key part of this, and all those things are correct, is that there is a shortage of housing. And even though there are right now, the buyers are holding off right now, and they're holding off for a reason. You call it not sure if the market's going to continue to go down, or not sure if the rates are going to continue to go up, or not sure if rates are going to come back down, so that they would go. Well, all right, I don't want to get to my conclusion too early, but 7.9% of the homes had a price drop recently. Reason is rates sit at a 20-year high, or at least they were this last week. Great time to ask for concessions if you're going to do it. And I actually, I'm encouraged, as I've got a few people that are under contract this week. We haven't seen a lot of them lately. I've actually got a refi going, so I'm encouraged by that. But ask for rate buy down money. And when I say that, I mean, there are a couple things out there. There's the 2-1 buy down. There's a 3-2-1 buy down. There's just a buy down. And to know the difference in all those three and which one's best for you, feel free to call me. You can call me right at the number that's on that sheet right there. All right, so this is just a little brief thing about credit and student loans. Joe, what do you know about student loans and mortgage stuff?
I know I've been paying on student loans for 20-something years. I know that.
Is it not crazy how those things just seem to never go away? They're like bad relatives. I mean, they just won't go away. Well, the reason I put this one on there is there's just right at $100,000 in student loan debt on this particular borrower's credit report. And $100,000 in additional debt will keep somebody from buying a house. There's obviously been some talk about forgiveness of student loans. I don't know how that's all going to work out, but the mortgage industry has done some things in the last year to 2 years to help people with big student loan debt. And so if you notice on here, and I don't know how much you can see on that, but this is a $53,000 debt. It's a 25-year rate or term, and it's a zero payment right now, which means it's probably deferred. They're not paying on it right now for whatever reason. And there's a lot of reasons that you get deferrals, but you got a 53, you got a 52, you got a 74, and you got a 39. That's every bit of $100,000+ in debt. And when you already owe $100,000+ debt, that's going to take 25 years to pay. To get a house on top of that, you better have a pretty good job. That schooling should have benefited you to get a job that's more than what the medium income is. But that's not what always happens. A lot of times we'll see school teachers, we see people that are in the trades, we see a lot of people that went to school and just never finished. So one of the things that we talk about is the different options on each different credit entity or loan entity gives you different perspectives or different payments that you have to obligate yourself on this to fit the debt ratios. Example, on an FHA, you only have to put a half a percent payment on this loan. So normally it would be 1%, that'd be $531.69. So they'll allow you to have a $275 payment on that one. And then you still have to figure your debt ratio. So anyway, if you have any questions about that, if you have a lot of student loan debt, or particularly if the student loan debt was stopping you from buying a house, you ought to contact me. There's a lot of people that don't know all the details of what's going on with student loans, and I consider myself an expert on that. So anyway, that's just a thing out there for anybody that's holding up. Don't, man. Let's talk about it. Now, you may or may not be able to buy a house, but the fact that you may could be a really good thing. Okay. All right. Homes are being marked down, says Redfin CEO. Now, the guy Brad Dillman is not the Redfin CEO. He's but I thought that article, rising rate are causing a cooling of home price appreciation. So what this was about is August 2022 show home price gains up 13% from August 2021. So let me give that to you. So in August, home prices have gone up since then, up 13%. But resource S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller Home Price Index, that number is down from month over month. So the amount of an increase that we held in August is actually down from what September was. So what that means is that home prices are still higher by 13% than what they were last year, but they would have been, if things would have been the same, they would have been 15% up from last year. So what that means is there's a slowing of the appreciation on the houses. And this is one of the things that Joe and I have talked about since we've been doing the show, is I don't think it's sustainable of anything in the double digits. I don't think home price appreciation is going to maintain 10% or 9%. I think it's going to settle in between 3 and 5%. That to me seems normal. Now I may be totally wrong, and again, I'm sure not one that considers himself an expert in these kind of macro numbers, but it just makes sense to me. People love the fact that if you have a 3 and 4% appreciation on your home, that's a big win. That's a huge win. And so when you're getting the 10 to 15 to, I mean, it seems to me that it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable at all. No.
But I think we're going to a place that it's going to be a little more reasonable. One of the articles, I didn't put it in here, but it talked about how consumers are being a little more cautious, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying to jump right in. I do personally, though, see an opportunity for buying a home at this point. I mean, it doesn't scare me at all that, and the reason it doesn't scare me is because we talked about it before. There's a shortage of homes out there, and I can't say that rates are going to go down, but there's a lot of indication that rates are going to go back down. And when they do, I think there's going to be a flood of people out there and it's going to raise this competition thing. And I'm just thinking the people that take advantage now may be ahead of the game. So
Yeah, I agree.
pending home sales plunged 10.2% versus last September. So this is kind of a play on that same thing we just looked at. This one has a map of it, and it shows where the worst were hit were up in the Northeast and the West. Fortunately, we're in the green. Ours was down the least of all the things. The little video thing there, that's an 8.8% right there is what that one says. So in the Midwest, it's 8.8, but we're 8.1. I would say it's probably less than that in Texas. The expectation was only a 4% drop in the pending home sales. Now, it's really important that we understand not home sales, the pending home sales. Sales down 31% year over year. So the number of sales for this year, of course, it's November 1st. Gosh, we're at the end of this year. I can't even believe that myself. But at that same time, rates crossed over to 7% in September. And that's when people kind of put their foot on the brake and says, whoa, Bill, I'm not sure 7%, that is beyond my belief. This is another one. Monthly payment was up $1,000 on a medium priced home. Now that wasn't all in the interest rate, but if you figure the taxes and the insurance, because it costs more to insure a more expensive house, all of that added $1,000 to the price of a mortgage this last year. That will stop a lot of people in their tracks. The biggest drop I said was Northeast and West. Rates not expected to drop soon. Now this was the article. Okay, I will share this with you. Is that rates have last week was the first week we had 2 days in a row where the rates got better. And a matter of fact, there were 4 days in a row that rates got better last week. Now, it wasn't on Friday, but it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Rates got better. You'll see that at the end when we talk about the rates that are available today. And today wasn't a great day on the rate market, but in general, it's just down. Rates are down.
Where are we at today? Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
So we've been, and this is kind of interesting because the sheet that I'm looking at, this is a app that I use, and you can't see it. You can't read that. Let's see. Yeah, there. It says here that the rates for 30-year fixed was 7.09. Now this is today at 440. Of course, this is one of the benefits of dealing with a broker is we've got better rates than the nation. And this is based on everybody out there. So the 6.875 on a 30-year fixed, that's a new low. 6.25, it was 6.5 last week was the 15-year rate. So rates are stabilizing, and there's cautious optimism that we're going to be back down in the fives before the end of the year. So that would be kind of sweet. And it's also an indication of what we hope is going to happen. I've got another guy that's prognosticating by March, which the start of the selling season, low fives, high fours. And that's my point is, and this is, I guess, where I think the summary part starts, is that you're going to have better choices on houses now, and you may pay for them with the rate, but you're going to pay less for them as far as the house because just like we talked about, the houses are sitting a little bit longer than they were. That gives you a chance to do concessions and get discounts on those houses. And it could be as quick as 3 or 4 months when rates go down into the thing where you can ditch the rate that you've got and you can get a new rate. That's one of the things that we marry the house, we date the rate. I think I shared that with you last week. So that is an option for you. So if you are ready to go, this could be a time to contact Joe or your favorite realtor because you're going to have a better time buying a house now, and you'll be glad you did because when the rates go down, house prices are going to go back up. The sellers are going to have the leverage is going to go back straight over to them, and I just see it's going to be an ugly spring if that happens.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention here, Mike, is I'm part of the management team at the brokerage, and so every week we go over the numbers, and especially after the end of the month, we look at total transactions. And year to year, from last year to this year, we as a brokerage are tracking pretty much the same as far as total transactions for the month. My guess is that not all brokerages are experiencing that, and it can probably be proven through the numbers. But my guess is the reason why is that at Byrd Properties, and Sandy probably can preach to this as well. We like to educate our agents, and we like to make sure they're well informed in order to help the customers out there in the market. So not everybody knows about the ability to ask for concessions or ask for the seller to pay down the rates. These are things that we practice and that we educate ourselves on in our brokerage at Byrd Properties. So, and I appreciate you bringing it up week to week because it's something out there that the consumer needs to know, that there are options out there, especially in this market where the competition is a little bit less, that you can find the home that you want, and you can still buy it. With some of these things that we do to help you out to lessen the load of the monthly mortgage.
Well, I think it's brilliant that you said that, and I appreciate that. I also think, one of the things that we all are about is the home is an investment. And this is like one of those times, if you were buying stocks, where there is a dip in the stock price, and you get an opportunity to buy. Now, a lot of people, when the stocks are going down, which it seems like real estate is going down, but it's not. Real estate is a very solid investment, and it takes a brave soul to go in there and invest in something when there's a little bit of a dip. But it doesn't take that much to look back 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and the real estate market was on fire. It was crazy. And to think that would just drop off a cliff, it's an artificial cliff is what it is. And it's going to come back. And real estate, particularly in the areas that we are in, I think is one of the strongest markets out there. Hopefully, politically, we will maintain the structure that we've had. Our cost of living is low. The housing prices are low, even though the people coming in from all over the United States are going to raise that back up. There's a balancing act, and to be on the right side of that balancing act, it's probably a good idea to get in a house now. So that's my message, and I think it's the same thing for you guys, and you guys staying on top of that. Is an educated buyer is a better buyer, and that's what we want. We want you guys to be educated. So other than that, let's see. I don't think I have. Is there another slide? No, that is it. I want to go one more time back to my humor thing.
Yeah, let's. What was the summary that you wanted to say? What was that?
Well, the summary was pretty much what we just said.
Okay.
Is that the opportunity here is you got one part of the market is down. Houses are sitting a little bit longer. You're getting discounts on the home. You're getting concessions, and this is and rates are starting to even look a little bit better. So there's a hint that rates are going to get better. And if you waited till rates get better, then what's going to happen is the home price is going to go up.
Yeah.
You're not going to save anything. And just because you pay a rent, this is not like you're making a commitment to have this mortgage for 30 years. You can have this mortgage for 6 months and you can change it. It's okay to do that. People refinance all the time, and to refinance and save hundreds, even thousands of dollars over the course of the next 5 years is a brilliant thing to do. And it would show me that somebody really gets this. It's kind of looking at it from a 30,000 foot window, right? You're looking down on this market and you go, wait a minute, there's an opportunity here. And that's what I see. So anyway, I thought that would be helpful to anybody that's listening or believes us or whatever. And I know that we're live today, so check this out, Pete.
Hey, question for you, Mike, and just to pick your brain, and I know it's probably not your forte, but just wanted to get your idea on it. What do you think of loan assumptions? Is that something that you deal with at all?
Yeah, I do not. Loan assumptions are based on the entities, but they're, amazing things. I had somebody ask me today if you can assume a VA loan, and guess what? You can. And one of the little benefits of that, and I don't know what the process is because it goes through the VA. You can do the same thing on an FHA loan. FHA loans are assumable. Doesn't happen a lot, and it's handled through the lender that the FHA loan is service through, but you can do it. And if you've got one of those homes where you got the 2, 3, or 4% interest rate, that's you can price a premium on top of the house because you have access to those rates. So I had somebody ask me the other day, a realtor, and I honestly don't know. Well, there's the ability to port your mortgage to a new property. I'd never heard that before, but evidently it is a thing.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know how they do it or what it takes. Seems crazy to me,
Yeah,
but who knows? I mean, when things get tough, people figure stuff out.
yeah.
That's one of the things of tough times. You usually get better because of them.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
That's exactly right. So something else to talk about, but yeah, that's a great question. And VA for sure, assumable, and FHA in some degrees is, or at least the way the rules were written back in the day. So,
Thank you.
all right, my friend, always good to see you. Thank you for being with me today. Support
Go
me.
Stros.
Go Stros tonight. That's right.
Yeah,
Go
baby.
Stros. All right, we'll see you next week. Let's see if I can do this music thing here. I'll probably mess it up, just like I messed up. We're not leaving yet, Joe. We're not
No,
leaving.
I'm not. I'm here. I'm waiting for it.
No, that's not it. All right, the music. Another flawed event. No, wait, there it is. Oh,
Welcome to Better
wrong
Credit,
one.
Better Home.
Yeah, we're gonna go out on a sayonara. See you guys next week. Okay, I'll have it together then.
Later, Mike. Thanks, man.
All right.